Did you know that, for the first time in history, thousands of people are choosing cremation over traditional burial at the time of death? According to experts, this trend will continue to increase, reaching up to 70% of people preferring cremation over traditional burial in the next 10 years. So, the question is, should Christians consider cremation? Let's talk about this in this video. There are 4 questions I want to ask and answer in this video. The first question is, what exactly is cremation? The second question is, what does the Bible say about cremation, if it says anything at all? The third question, which is asked frequently, is whether cremation will affect our resurrected and glorified body that God will create at the time of the rapture. And finally, the fourth question is, I am a Christian and am considering cremation. What should I consider when deciding whether to be cremated or have a traditional burial? So, question number 1. What exactly is cremation? Well, cremation is the process where heat is applied to the body at extremely high temperatures inside a cremation chamber, essentially returning the body to its basic elements. Most of the body, including soft tissue, is vaporized, leaving only the bones, which are then burned until they become dry powder or bone particles called ashes. The Bible says, "By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." The concept of cremation is that God used earth or dust to create our bodies, and through cremation, we essentially return our body to the original state in which God used to create humanity. Studies and research closely follow the journey of the body through the flames to become ashes, examining not only the physical aspects, but also the environmental and social impacts of this choice. According to data from the Cremation Association, there is a steady increase in cremation, reflecting changes in social preferences, economic constraints, and ecological considerations. Over 50% of Americans now choose cremation, a number that is only expected to grow. Scientifically, cremation presents itself as a more sustainable alternative compared to traditional burial. Research indicates that conventional burials occupy vast stretches of land and involve the use of embalming chemicals, wooden coffins, and tombstones, all of which have a considerable environmental impact. In contrast, cremation, despite consuming energy and releasing carbon emissions, requires less space and resources, aligning with a growing desire for more ecological practices. Question number 2. What does the Bible say about cremation? Well, in over 200 instances in the Old Testament where death is discussed, traditional burial is mentioned, but not as the only method. There are several references in the Bible to bodies being burned, but no direct references to cremation. For example, Saul and his sons were defeated in battle, and when their bodies were found, they were burned, and their bones were buried. This might have been because the bodies were in a state where a traditional burial was not practical. Another reference is about Manasseh, who sacrificed his own son in the fire, and King Josiah, who burned human bones on altars to desecrate them. These references show bodies being burned, but there is no direct prohibition or approval of cremation in the Bible. The handling of bones and remains carries deep spiritual implications, but cremation is not directly mentioned, leaving room for interpretations within Christian principles. Question number 3. How does cremation affect the resurrected body? In 1 Corinthians 15, the Bible says that our earthly bodies are planted in the ground when we die, but will be raised to live forever. God used earth and dust to create humanity, so He is powerful enough to use dust or ashes to recreate our body. Regardless of how bodies were destroyed or disposed of, God is not limited in His ability to recreate a glorified body. Studies on decomposition show that the human body disintegrates into simpler components over time, eventually becoming part of the earth again. Modern science offers perspectives on cremation, especially concerning environmental conservation. The choice between burial and cremation is influenced by religious beliefs, environmental considerations, and personal desires, reflecting respect for tradition and adaptation to modern demands. Question number 4. How can I decide if cremation is right for me? Consider what type of commemoration you want people to have when you die. A grave can be a place for loved ones to visit and remember you. With an urn, this is not possible. Think also if you want an open casket for people to see you one last time and properly say goodbye. The Bible does not explicitly mention cremation as a method of body disposal, but burial practices described generally involve interment. The decision about cremation is left to individual discernment and personal beliefs. Many believe that as long as the choice for cremation is made with respect and does not deny the doctrine of resurrection, it is acceptable. I hope the answers to these 4 questions provide clarity in making a wise decision about how you would like your body to be disposed of after death. See you in the next video. God bless you. Share with your acquaintances, leave your like, and comment below your opinion.